promise. God promised to make of him a great nation, to bless him, and to make his name great. This was the birth of the covenant, a pact, a sacred agreement that would become the central pillar of Jewish identity. It was not a contract of equals. It was a bond between the infinite and the finite, a promise that would ask everything of Abram and his descendants, and in return offer them a destiny. Abram, who would become Abraham, meaning father of many, set out on his journey. With his wife Sarai, later Sarah, he journeyed to a land called Canaan. This wasn't a military conquest, it was a nomadic wandering, an act of pure faith. This land, this promised land, would become the focal point of Jewish longing and identity for the next 4 millennia. It was not just a piece of real estate, it was the physical space where the spiritual covenant was meant to unfold. This foundational story tells us everything about the essential nature of Judaism. It is, at its core, about a relationship, a difficult, demanding, often strained relationship between a people and their God. It's also a story about being different, about choosing a separate path. From the very beginning, to be part of this covenant was to be set apart, to march to the beat of a different drum in a world that often viewed that difference with suspicion and sometimes with lethal hostility. Abraham was the first to take that step, to leave the comfort of the familiar for the uncertainty of a divine promise. And in that single act of faith, he laid the first stone of a spiritual edifice that would endure for ages. Generations passed. Abraham's descendants, the Israelites, found themselves not as a great nation in Canaan, but as slaves in the mighty empire of Egypt.